Highway 47 Productions plays The Quiet Year by Alder Avery. Episode 1, Where the Hell Are We?
Gather round, everyone. Yes, make room. I'd just like to say a few words. No, please keep your fungaroos outside the square. I'll try and project for all of you. Yes. Happy spring, everyone. It's been so long since we've felt warmth and light of the springtime sun. I know I'm thankful, even for what little is left. My friends, our city is in ruins. I need not remind you of why we left. None of us left alive will ever forget the first time we saw a buff walrus smash a building, or, well, we need not speak of all the horrors. Though I must tell you all, even with only our factory and our barracks still standing, and the rest of the city smashed to pieces, the spring air feels so good filling my lungs today, and the return of the sun fills me with joy. Thank you for helping me and helping each other survive winter in the caves. To be here again, those of us still here must celebrate these days while we still have them. And yet, we all know what the future holds. The beasts came for the first time this winter, but they will be back again. We already knew that we would have precious few years left, able to survive the winters as the sun continues to darken above us year by year. But now, with the buff walruses as a new threat, well, this may be it. The way I see it, we must make this our last year on the surface of our world. If our society has any chance to survive, this is the year that we will have to find a new home. I don't know where it will be, but I know that we will find it together. Today, it's peaceful, it's warm, it's lovely. It is quiet, and we know it will remain quiet until winter returns. And we have that last quiet year to celebrate ourselves and to ensure our future. Today we should celebrate ourselves, but tomorrow we should build for our children. The quiet year, our last quiet year, my friends, starts now.
Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk, but I'm caught.
Hey Internet! Highway 47 is going to try something new tonight. We have noticed that we have been posting a whole bunch of really bad movies lately, and we're kind of tired of that for the moment. I'm not saying we won't...
Speak for yourself.
Well, you know, it's just, you need a break now and then. So, I mean, in the past, 3 weeks, we've watched Howard the Duck, Petey Raw, whatever the hell the other movies were, and just, sometimes you just need to do something a little different. So we're going to try something a little different tonight. We're going to play what would be a tabletop game, although we're playing it online through Roll20.net. If our video capture is working, you are watching video of the game, either from my screen or from Vomit's screen. And this is a game called The Quiet Year, which I took from a podcast, and I'll tell you all about that in a minute. But anyway, first, I'm Shaggy B. With us is Dracofunk.
I am right here. I'm frantically pulling up the IMDb rating for this, but realize that there is none.
And also with us is Vomit.
Oh, you're out of order. Go to Scrodrick.
Go to Scrodrick. All right, the Scrodrick. See, you guys are out of order on the icons on the screen, so I don't know where I'm supposed to go. So Scrodrick, yeah.
Hi, I'm here, and everything's fine now because I'm done eating.
That's right. And with us, and then the next stage, of course, after being done eating is Vomit.
There we go.
There we go. You're right. I had, he had to set it up. That's what it was. That's what it was. And we are playing The Quiet Year tonight. We probably won't play through the whole game this evening, but we will, at least give it a go and see how session 1 goes. And if you guys enjoy it, let us know and we'll finish it out. So
leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and punch your mother in the face if you like this.
Yeah, definitely.
And donate to, make us come back for it.
That's right. Donate for a paid Roll20 account, which gives me such features as, I don't know, they don't really list it, but whatever. We've never really used Roll20.net before. I am running this as the GM for this game. Although this game is not... It's not a character-based role play, so it's a little less important who the GM role is and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of give you a quick Cliff's notes of how this game works, what it's all about, and sort of how it functions, and then we're just going to kind of dive in. So this game is called The Quiet Year, and it is a world-building game. We are basically spending the whole time, we're going through a year of time building a community to some sort of goal. There is a background story that came with the game, which is really, really simple. But we do our best when we are too complicated for our own good. So I threw that out and I wrote another backstory. And it works like this. Our community is... Are you writing backstory?
Yeah, keep talking.
Cool. All right. We're a society. We're maybe an industrial age society. And there's been discussion over history about, it sure seems like the winters are getting colder. People as they start to age, man, I don't remember it being this cold when I was a kid and things like that. And it's only been in really recent times that we've developed the technology and the understanding to find out that... What was that?
I'm sorry. my cat just jumped on the chair, and it's one of those swivel chairs.
Oh, okay.
And she jumps on it, and it just starts spinning around.
Perfect. That's in fact how we discovered that the winters are in fact getting colder. The cat jumping on the chair, it realigned the thermometer right the way. So yeah, as it turns out, the sun is developing a dark side.
Dark side of the sun?
The dark side of the sun. So for
Sounds
a quarter
metal.
of the year, right? For a quarter of the year in our winters, it actually is colder, and it's getting colder every year. And what we've learned is that we have about a decade left until it's too cold to survive the winters. And the next thing that we learned, as soon as we figured that out, was last year in the coldest winter yet, Arctic beasts, Arctic predators invaded. They came from the north, and they came to our city, and they just wreaked havoc, and they were smashing buildings, they were just destroying everything, and killed lots and lots of people. We weren't prepared. We had been researching ways to escape the cold sun, but we didn't see these guys coming, and they came and they just destroyed everything. And a few of us, maybe a few hundred, managed to escape into some caves that we had been kind of researching, maybe starting to build an underground habitat. But a few of us got in there and managed to survive the winter. Some of them died in there and all that. And all we really know is that they're going to come back this coming winter, and they're going to be back in greater numbers because it's going to be even colder. And so we've got to find a permanent solution, and we have a year to do it. The options that we've looked at are these caves, for one. And we've started doing some research there. We've looked at the ocean, maybe building an underwater thing. We know it's going to get cold enough to freeze the surface of the ocean, but we think that maybe the bottom of the ocean might not freeze during the winters. And then the third option, which may be pretty interesting, is that there is a moon close by. This isn't Earth's moon where it's really far away and all that. It's really close. It takes up 10% of the sky at night. And we're pretty sure we could launch something up there. We've never done it before, but we know that the moon has some kind of atmosphere. It has some gravity, and that it's not very far away. And so it's now the first week of spring, and we have until the Frost Shepherds is what we named the beasts that came. We have until they return sometime in the winter to figure out how we're going to survive.
I vote, before we do anything smart, I vote that we rename them to the Buff Walruses.
Buff Walruses?
Buff Walruses.
All right.
Oh, I thought you named it the Puff Walruses.
Yeah, like sorry, I'm not good at drawing. It's a B.
All right, let me add a.
It's a B.
Can I?
Here,
The Arctic bees.
The Arctic bees.
We need some bug spray. That'll take care of it.
That'll freeze.
I still prefer Puff Walruses.
Puff Walruses?
Puff Walruses?
Yeah.
We're in a disagreement. I want Buff Walruses. He wants Puff Walruses.
Okay, well this will be a good way to explain a mechanic. So, Vomit, you came up with this, right?
I came up with the Buff Walruses.
Buff. BUFF -WALRUS.
Sure.
Cool. All right, so here's how this works. We aren't individual players or anything like that. We're kind of an omniscient sort of force. We're like, we can be like an individual person in the community. We can be a group of people. We take actions as pieces of the community, right? And nobody owns something that they've created. The only thing that you really kind of own is if you develop a project which takes time, then you get to determine how the project resolves when it's done. But like if Vomit, creates a cage to put a buff walrus in, Dracofunk can come in the next turn and destroy the cage. It's not that, it's like you don't just own your stuff and all that
Dracofunk.
stuff. Right.
I didn't do that. I'm not going to destroy your cage.
I know, but I'm just saying that. However, if you disagree or think that something's a bad idea or think it shouldn't have worked that way, what you do is you mark a point of contempt. So, technically we haven't really started the game yet. But Dracofunk, do you want a point of contempt for naming them Buff Walruses?
I do prefer Puff Walruses.
All right. So I'm going to mark Dracofunk 1 Buff Walruses. Should be Puff Walruses. This is going swimmingly. All right. I've also added under the characters tab in the journal, I have added an item that says the Frost Shepherds are now named Buff Walruses. So when we draw the card for them, which, by the way, when the Frost Shepherds arrive, the game is immediately over, and that'll happen sometime during winter. So that leads me into the mechanics of the game, which are, by the way, I like the notes that you're taking on this.
I figured it'd be useful.
Absolutely. The mechanics of the game are every turn, we take turns, we cycle through turns. Every turn is 1 week of time. So at the beginning of your turn, let me pull up the reference card to make sure I get it right. You draw a card from the deck of the season that we're in, which we're starting off in spring. It's the first week of spring. And you interpret what's on the card and you follow the instructions on it. Then, after that, you, if there are projects or things in progress, the clock ticks once. Like, we have 3 weeks left, it ticks down to 2. Or if it's 1, it ticks to 0, and then we resolve it. And then the third thing you do is you take an action. And this is every week, whichever player's turn it is. They get to either discover something new, hold a discussion, which is a specific thing that's like really brief. It's like a town hall meeting where everybody gets like 1 tweet worth of stuff to say. Or they can start a project, which can be really anything you decide. So that's how each turn goes throughout the game. The first thing we do to start the game is we have to create our home world. So I'm going to move you guys to a new canvas. And this canvas...
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to go back for a second?
I was going to say, is there a way to save them, but...
Yeah, they'll be saved.
Oh, okay, then go on.
Yeah, I've got like 8 of them up here, so...
Cool. I need
So you are
buff walruses saved forever.
Yes. So you are now in the home canvas, which is another blank slate. And the first thing we do is we're going to kind of discuss what our region is like. And we just sort of have a 2 or 3 minute conversation about what should our starting location be. This is where our community lives. This is where we start the game out. You know, what's the general terrain? What's the climate? What are, you know, what features are in the area? We have a short discussion, and then each of us gets to draw one feature of the community. So we're going to start building a map of the area. So, what do we want this region to be like?
So it seems like there should be distant mountains where the caves are.
Okay. So we have mountains like off in one direction.
I have an important question.
Sure.
How rooted in realism do we need to be?
That can be up to us. Do we want this to be like a magical world? Do we want it to be?
I want like fields of trees that are also pre-made rocket ships.
And on fire.
And on fire.
It's whatever, man. If it gets us to the moon, I don't care if it's on fire.
Well, okay. So how about trees that like the sap is extremely flammable? Like the sap is basically just like rocket fuel.
Yeah, that sounds like a hilarious disaster in the making. Let's do it.
I'm pretty cool with that. All right, so Dracofunk, do you want to start drawing a mountain range somewhere like on the edge of the map? I don't care, you know, anywhere you want. And then Vomit, start drawing a forest somewhere on the map. And then Scrodrick, what do you have any thoughts about what this area should be like?
Nope.
Are we near like a river, or is it a shoreline? Dracofunk, I'm gonna shrink that down because this is like, okay, that's fine actually. Yeah, go for it. Okay. I'm gonna draw.
No.
I think we have a coastline.
It'd probably be a good idea, you know, in case we go the ocean route.
Yeah, I mean, if we get too close to the trees, we need something to put us out.
Right. So I'm going to draw like this sort of... Oops. Okay. So freehand. Freehand. Draw. Freehand. There we go. I didn't want gray. I wanted blue. How do I get that to not be gray? Blue. There we go. Yeah, and then so this is going to be like an ocean, and it's still not blue. Why can't I draw blue? Okay, this is ocean.
Because I chose blue.
Maybe.
I don't know.
The great gray ocean.
There we go.
Open for the great gray yonder.
Okay. So Scrodrick, draw something on the map. Could be a road, could be some buildings, could be maybe
Give us a house.
volcano.
You get a random.
My forest, also known as the burning pile of trash.
Is that a bird on there?
What?
I think it's
accidentally?
Yeah, it looks
I tried to draw red. I mean, I tried to draw green, but it stayed at red, and so I made a red line, and so I tried to like smudge it out with green.
That didn't work the way I wanted.
Ooh, I like that. Could the big box be like the borders of like the city, like the corporation limit? Like this is our city, and then there's like buildings in and out of it. Or
nope, it's dead now.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, those mountains look really intimidating if that's the size of our city.
Those are some pretty big ass mountains.
Mountains? No, those are very jagged.
Fair enough.
There we go.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm afraid because whatever it was didn't show up on my screen.
No, because I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's. I'm debating. Oh, well,
This is turning out exactly like I hoped it would.
I give up.
Do you want to just like scribble it with the freehand, or?
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to end up being. So no, if we have to have a house and we're in a weird industrial society, I was going to build a factory house for us.
Okay.
Because we could be some kind of up, no home life. We live in the factory.
Okay.
I mean, we have to be in a really weird society if the trees also can double as jet fuel.
So maybe it's like just like a huge like worker barracks type of thing.
Yeah. So we got like,
Which that would make sense because we've had the frost. I'm sorry, the buffo walruses. The buff walruses come in
Walruses.
We've had the puff walruses and buff walruses come in and like they smashed all of like the regular people's houses, and the only building strong enough to survive is the factory barracks. So everybody has to live there. That's kind of a cool idea. That's also a massive building.
Our forest is tiny.
It's fine. It doesn't all have to. Yeah, it doesn't all have to be to scale. It doesn't all have to be to scale. Cool. All right. So we've each drawn something. So let me just check to make sure we've done everything. Sketch terrain. Oh, we have not. Okay. Each player declares an important resource for the community. Each player declares an important resource for the community.
I think Vomit's already declared his.
I think so, yeah.
I
mean,
practicality.
You can declare something else if you want.
Flammable trees.
Okay, so
Declare
You gotta go out and apply those gas taps.
a resource.
I'm typing trees with hilariously flammable sap. All right.
How about like the special heat-resistant metal?
Ooh,
Heat and
okay.
pressure-resistant metal. It's called
It's called
convenientum.
It's called
Conveniently Antanium.
It's called Go to the Moonium. Convenium.
Yes, convenium. That's
Convenium.
it can be mined in the mountains, in the caves.
Okay. Heat and pressure resistant metal ore found in the mountains.
maybe we should have some sort of like livestock animal. That way we can live.
Okay.
Some sort of food source.
Where we don't go, where we're going, we don't need to live.
Well,
what? Tell me about these livestock.
well, they have a couple massive legs, like kind of like kangaroo legs, but
How many?
They have edible droppings, and that's what we live off of. So,
That's some kangaroo legs.
How many kangaroo legs?
They're
like
done.
at least 3.
3 kangaroo legs.
Yep,
3
left,
masters.
right, and a middle leg.
All right.
God.
What do we call these beasts?
Fungaroos. There we go.
Bungaroos or dungaroos?
Fungaroos.
Kangaroos.
What do we call their droppings?
Delicious.
Well, time to drink. What are y'all drinking tonight?
Oh yeah, it is a 4-drink minimum.
Is it a 4-drink minimum, or are we just drinking on the side?
Sure.
I have my in-laws still left me a whole bunch of these truly hard seltzers. I have 4 of them. I don't know what flavors they are. I opened the first one already, and it's lime. I don't know what the other ones are. I think my wife picked them out for me, and she was ecstatic because she's giving me a grapefruit because she knows I hate the grapefruit.
Awesome.
I'm glad that I brought a bottle opener because I am drinking Pum King from Southern Tier Brewing. It's an Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Let's see.
Ooh.
What is it? It is 8.6% alcohol by volume, so...
Awesome. That sounds amazingly good. Vomit?
I've got coffee and Mount Gay.
Perfect. I've had that stuff before.
I was with you.
Yeah, and I drank like most of it and passed out after you passed out.
I drank some of it and passed out, and then you kept drinking.
And then passed out.
And then, we're in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Just you and me.
Uh-huh.
And I fell asleep early, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And you just were like, well, I've been left alone, unguarded, with booze.
Yep.
Time to do what I do.
And I kept going.
And you kept going. And, I guess you talked to people on the phone or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I woke up the next day, and I was like, the nature sure is beautiful here. It sounds so clear through the window. I'm going to go open... I'm sorry, not window. It was the screen door.
It was the patio door.
It was the patio door. The only thing blocking us from the outside was the curtain.
Yep. So that's my history with that stuff.
Yeah. So I'm having that tonight.
Awesome. I'm drinking water because I'm trying to run a game.
Just gonna...
All right. Let's see. My resource. I'm gonna say we have. Even though they destroyed everything, we have a good deal of scientific equipment.
Things to help you calibrate a mission to the moon.
Right.
We've launched 38 rockets so far, and at least one of them has come close.
Awesome.
How
I
can
just
you
heard
miss?
something crash, and I don't know.
It was the gay.
Rockets?
Was
It
the
was
gay?
the Mount Gay.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
I kicked it over, and it hit something metal.
Okay. I'm going to draw your attention to the journal tab on your sidebar and the trackers folder at the top of it. The note that says resources now lists the resources that we just came up with. And the next thing to decide is which of these are abundant and which of them are scarce.
Can they not all just be abundant?
They certainly could if we decide that they are. The trees, certainly those are going to be abundant because we have, a whole forest of them.
Yeah, it's not like forest fires could be a thing.
Can we call them...
The convenium has to be abundant.
I think so.
That would be convenient if it was.
It really was just, it's in the name. Can I call them can I call those trees splodifers?
Lotifers.
How about, that's not necessarily a tree-ish name. It's got to be
Oh, conifer.
How about, explode, or...
Like boom spruce?
Yeah.
Boom spruce.
Boom
It's gotta be a
spruce.
better name. Hold on. It'll come to me eventually.
Okay, so trees with
I keep going to ignital.
fire.
I try to put maple into something because that's the way my brain is.
Poplar, as in... Okay,
Poplar.
it's getting worse. All right.
Puppies.
Poppies?
Yeah.
Pop
They're
trees.
not flowers, they're trees that just happen to go pop and explode.
Pop.
How about explode trees?
Blow trees.
Let's come back to it. Trees with fire in them. That's what I'm going to type. Okay, I'm not sure that the livestock would be all that abundant. We just spent winter in a cave that wasn't really outfitted for people to live in, so I have a feeling we probably started killing them before we started killing ourselves.
What's this logic you're applying? They're three-legged kangaroos that we eat their dung.
Well, that's a good point.
Well,
Okay.
if those are scarce, there's still going to be some nutrition left in it after you eat it. So
That's fair.
So you have to do the
The
human
important question
centipede.
is, did the puff walruses also take out the livestock, or
Well, what did the,
Well, that's
what
why
did-
they're scarce now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so I'll put that under scarcity.
what did the fungaroos eat? I mean,
They eat our dung.
They eat the Splodifers.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so the fungaroos are a scarcity. So there'll probably be a lot of them born this year if we feed them. All right, so now 2 people have said Splodifers, so that's the name of those things.
Oh, I was on flammable.
Splodifer.
Bloatifer.
I'm sorry, I'm drinking my Pumpkin, and it has a very good initial flavor,
Uh-huh.
but then it does the thing that IPAs do and makes me hate
Oh,
it.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand. All right, and the scientific equipment is obviously abundant, so...
Well, that's an
Right.
extra about the abundances.
I just typed abundant. All right, so scientific equipment. I'm also going to say we have plenty of water because we're near the shore. And we have plenty of, like, masonry materials.
that's
Because
good.
they've come and, like, smashed the whole town. So there's, like, piles of cement everywhere.
Convenient. Let's take
yeah.
it to the moon.
Sure.
Is there any fish in the ocean?
There can be.
Can
So-
we eat the fish's dung?
All right. Well, let's actually start the game.
Oh,
So
right.
we-
Game.
we've now established our world. We've established abundance and scarcities and all that stuff. So would you like me to go through a turn to show you how it works, or do you want to just dive in?
It sounds terrible either way.
Would you like to go first, Vomit?
It's terrible either way. Let's do this. How do we do
All right.
this?
Okay, so I am about to deal a card, and I'm going to actually take you guys to the map page, because this is where I'm going to deal the cards.
Oh,
By page, I mean this is the default map page that we're not going to use.
That's
going to-
stained post-it. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm going to deal a spring card. And Vomit, I'll let you read out loud what it says. That's not the one I want. I want to just click on it. There we go. And I'll drag it over here. There you go.
There is a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Or alarming weather patterns destroy something. How and what?
Okay, this is the 5 of spring.
5 of spring. My favorite day of the season.
was that
So
also written by Vivaldi?
So you get to decide which one of those you're going to do. And you just decide it and make it up and draw it on the map. So I'm going to move you back over to the home screen when you're ready. And tell us all about it, of course.
Quieting legend
Okay, what we got?
from within the burning freehand tool. There it is. I can't speak and draw at the same time. From deep
Okay.
within the Splode Pines, what do we call them?
Splodifers.
Splodiverse. There is a beast.
Okay.
Another one.
Different beast.
Different beast.
A mushroom beast?
6-armed, 2-legged mushroom beast with long horns, 1 eye. No, wait, keep it safe for work. 2 eyes that are off center. And he eats convenium, and he poops
Ooh.
something that is inedible.
Oh.
Oh,
And he has a band T-shirt on, but that's not important.
Can we call this poop inconvenium?
Inconvenium, yeah. It has no decent value.
Okay, do we have a lot of it? Like, did we find like a lot of that stuff?
Like legend. It's just a legend.
It's just a legend.
Legend
Okay, so we
says
can
there
find
is
it.
a beast. I can't
Okay.
for say sure if there actually is one because it's just a disquieting legend. Mostly because there's just like screams that come from here all the time,
Right.
like a beast, or maybe people that caught on fire because they got too close to the trees. I don't know.
What do these screams sound like?
Ah! Louder, but I don't want to scare my children. I've underlined it for no reason.
Okay, I will point out I like that, so leave it. But they discourage writing words on the map. They want it to all be pictures. But
Okay,
that one's fine.
Somebody just walked out and wrote "ah."
Perfect. Is that the name of the forest?
That's the inconvenium. It takes the shape of words. Your deepest, darkest insecurities just,
That's a hell of a legend. I
spelled
love
out
it.
on the ground. It's great.
Awesome.
You let me write a legend, man. What do you think was going to happen?
That's true. All right, so then the next step would be to tick down any projects, which we don't have any because this is the first week. And then your final step of your turn is going to be to take an action. Your choices are... Let me pull it up so I read it right.
Oh.
Discover something new, which would mean, the community finds something, either a new situation or a new thing or just whatever, and draw it onto the map. Second action is hold a discussion, and then we can talk about the mechanics of that if you want to do it. But keep in mind, it's like sound bites. And then the third action is start a project. So you would state a project that the community is starting, and then as a group, we decide how many weeks it takes. And after that many weeks, you resolve the project.
How many weeks is a season?
13.
13?
You can have a project run up to 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to propose. Oh, wait, I guess I just started. Cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't even say propose. I just get to do it.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, keep it reasonable.
I mean, yeah, that's when you said 6 weeks. I was like, oh, what I was going to propose is going to be a 6-week project.
Okay.
But pretending it could be a 6-week project, because I can't really break this down any further, I'm going to start building a launch pad.
Okay. So
like
you're building
just a flat area, compacting everything we can on the ground, and then, an area like that if a rocket or, a convenium ship what flies on trees could launch from and not destroy the community in case something doesn't work right.
Okay. Outside the community for convenium
Rockets.
Convenium / Splodifer rockets.
I'm just gonna hollow out a tree and make that into a rocket.
Well, you yeah, right.
That'll be the Splodifer rocket Mark 1.
You don't even need to hollow out the tree. You just need to light the bottom and stand on the top.
Oh, you shape the bottom so the splody goes out the bottom and then you fly.
There is a card that I really hope you draw, Scrodrick.
oh, good.
All right, so you've got a project, 6 weeks. You're going to have built a launch pad out somewhere outside the community for rocketry.
Rocketry.
Awesome. All right, so that is Vomit's turn.
Rocketry takes on a new meaning all of a sudden.
It really does. All right, so week 2. Who wants to take the next turn? We ought to keep the turn order figured out, but I don't care who goes next.
Sure, I'll go.
All right, Dracofunk. Let's move you guys back to the card page because that's where we're doing the cards. And I will draw you a spring card. And here it is. Read it out for us.
A charismatic young girl convinces many to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Who joins her? Endeavors. Start a project to reflect. Or, a charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful or dangerous activity. Why does she do this? How does the community respond?
Okay, before you choose, I will mention that since the card says to start a project, that would be in addition to your action at the end of the week. So you could, if you choose to do that one, you could then also choose to do another project that's unrelated at the end of your week.
Ah, I see.
So let me know when you've got your idea, and I'll put you back on the map, and you can draw in what you're going to do.
Oh man, this is hard, because I could start 2 projects, or
you could go for comedy.
Sinful or dangerous activity.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about a society that eats, Ron Jeremy kangaroo poop in order to survive. So, what qualifies as a sin? That's part of it, I guess.
Yeah, or sinful and dangerous. Hand-whittled splodifer dildos. I don't know.
Dear Lord.
Make sure they're properly drained, otherwise, well.
You'll go to the moon.
Go ahead and move you over to the map. Let you start deciding there.
Okay. Here's what I think. That she comes in, and can I read the card one more time?
Yeah, let me take you back over there.
Let me go. Sorry.
Sure, no problem.
So she comes in. She convinces Minnie to help her with an elaborate scheme. What is it? Who joins her endeavors? She comes in here and, she's unsure about all this, rocketry stuff. And she's like, the moon's not that far. I think we should just build a tower to it.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
So, and she convinces a bunch of people to help her start building a tower to the moon.
All right. Well, just draw the beginnings of a tower.
That's
a really good project. Yeah. How long do you think it's going to take her?
Oh, she thinks it's going to take like 3 weeks, but it's going to take 6 weeks.
Okay, so 6 weeks.
now it's suddenly real.
Dracofunk. Build a tower to the moon. Okay.
And
right.
like a quarter of the town, goes out there and they start building that tower.
So a lot of people are working on it. Do you think that would mean we now have a scarcity of manpower for other projects?
It's going to seem that way.
Okay.
Because, while there's a good number out there building a launch platform, and suddenly a quarter of the people are like, I'm going to build a tower.
Oh, yeah, and, Big John Dumbassington, he's the strongest man in town. He's working on the stupid tower instead of the good projects,
All right, I will add a handout under characters for Big John Dumbassington.
And you gotta add, you gotta have a character for this charismatic young girl.
All right, what's her name?
Carrie. Charismatic.
I did sure.
Carrie Smatic?
Yes.
Smatic. It's Mrs. Smatic, or Ms. Smatic.
Ms. She's a young girl.
Miss Smatic.
Big John Dumbassington. And then Carrie. How you want to spell Carrie? Now, you actually could type this in, but I'll go ahead and do it. Carrie, like C-A-R-R-I-E?
No, K.
K-K-A-R-R-R-I. Carrie, S-M-A-T-I-C-K?
Yeah.
Sure. Awesome. All players. Committed all players. Started the tower project on week 2. All right. Carrie Smatic. Love it.
Okay, if you'll take me back, I'll start drawing the tower.
Awesome. Okay, and I will put you over there. That is this one. Good?
Yeah. Totally.
So while you're drawing that, I'll go ahead and tick down Vomit's project. It's down to 5 weeks. That's the launch pad. 6 weeks to go on the tower to the moon. And Dracofunk, do you want to discover something, have a discussion, or start another project?
I would actually like to start another project.
Okay, what are we going to do?
We are going to build a submarine out of convenium to explore the ocean floor.
All right, how long is that going to take?
It's going to take, about, I think this is going to take about 4 weeks.
Okay. I think that's reasonable. I mean, if we can build a whole, rocket launch pad in 6 weeks, the submarine's not that complicated.
Yeah, we got a factory. It's fine.
Exactly.
Stamp out the parts. We're good.
Do I need to draw this?
Once the project resolves.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So we've got that in. You can keep working on your tower drawing if you want to while we move along. But that can be the end of that turn. So, Scrodrick, you want to go next?
Sure.
All right. Actually, I need to move us over to the map page. So, or
That's
not the
fine.
map. I'm going to rename the map page. Actually, I'm going to rename it to card page.
Now, I just opened a new tree, and it is a grapefruit, and I hate it.
Awesome. All right. Here we go, Scrodrick.
Yeah, the pumpkin is very painful.
Awesome. Ooh, the Ace of Spring. Nice. Read it out for us.
What group has the highest status in the community? What must people do to gain inclusion in this group? Or are there Are there distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are most common or are common?
I don't know why I'm laughing.
I mean, we've got some great options here.
What group has the highest status in the community? That would be people that have lost a hand in an industrial accident in the factory.
So, like, they're like war veterans.
They've shed blood for the community and for production.
Awesome.
So what must people do to gain? So
Is this like a Valhalla thing where if they don't know that you lost your hand in a factory accident, you just aren't treated like an honored warrior?
well, the problem is that it's become corrupted over time, and you have certain posers that just shove their hand in the machinery so they can gain access to this group, and it has not caught on yet.
Wow.
So, not caught on that people are gaming the system and intentionally losing their hand.
Okay, I'm typing a note on this to... All right, I've typed... under week 3, I've typed the highest status group is people who are maimed, lost their hands by industry. Some maim themselves to reach status, but it is stolen valor.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds way more poetic than it has any right to be.
All right, so then we tick down the clocks. Launchpad is down to 4 weeks. The Tower to the Moon is down to 5, and the submarine is down to 3. Scrodrick, would you like to discover something, have a discussion, or start a project?
Let's discover something. We have enough projects going for now.
All right, and you get to decide what it is, where it is, draw it on the map, and tell us about it.
Well, see, I didn't think of this. See, I didn't know what was prompted and what wasn't.
Oh, sorry. No, it's very open-ended.
Let's see.
If you'd like to change your plan.
Yeah, I think I'd like to change it then. So let's have a discussion.
Okay. So here's how a discussion works. Since you called the discussion, you lead off with either a question or some kind of statement. Like we're basically like holding a town hall, right? And you stand up and you whatever. If you start with a question, then you get one more response at the end of the discussion. If you don't, if you start with a statement, then you only get to say your statement. And then after you make your opening statement or question, we each in sequence respond. And it's only one like soundbite, like think of it as like one tweet worth of stuff we get to say.
Oh god,
like,
okay.
Yeah, like maybe 2 sentences, something like that. And it's not an open thing. It's just your turn to talk, your turn to talk, your turn to talk, your turn to talk, and then we don't make any decisions on it. But it's just a voicing of thoughts. And we do this from the perspective of people in the community on whatever topic that you decide that you want to bring up.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It functions like an actual community of people does, where they just bullshit at each other and nothing ever gets done. But it can inform the world and give us some direction if we want to.
So, just in case we need a little extra time before the snow beasts come down, should we build a fence around our home and the launch pad?
We do have quite a bit of excess masonry and convenium, and I've heard tell of some interesting other materials in the forest that, the beast of the forest may be leaving for us to use.
Ain't no fence strong enough. What you need is a 47 AK-38 machine gun.
Shouldn't we also build it around the tower and the submarine? And the factory? And the forest? It's a big wall.
All right, Scrodrick, since you started with the question, you get one.
Well, I did say around our home, which is the factory. So should we divert part of the factory production to machine gun making instead of submarine parts? What is the capacity of the factory?
That's okay. There's the discussion.
As soon as you said machine gun parts, I about spit cold on my microphone. I just was not ready for you to divert into the stupidity.
Well, if there's something stupid, I will divert right into it, so.
I'm just summing up the discussion here. Oh.
While I was zoomed in on the beast, the tower got bigger.
Okay, so I put discussion. Should we build Should we build a fence around our home to protect from the frost shepherds? We have materials. Maybe we should just use guns to defend ourselves instead.
Shouldn't we have called them puff walruses?
Buff walruses?
Sorry, buff walruses.
We never got to the point of contention on puff walruses.
No, Dracofunk has a point of contempt marked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the snow bees, yep.
Yeah, snowbees. And then the final point raised in the discussion was basically, should the factory surround everything we have, all of our domain, or just a part of it? And then that was that. Okay, it is now my turn. So I will move us over to the card. I will draw myself a card. And I get the Queen of Spring, which says, what's the most beautiful thing in this area? Or, what's the most hideous thing in this area?
Sir. Both of those sound like impossible beasts to deal with.
Fungaroo dung.
I was going to say, I think the answer to both of these questions has to do with the fungaroos. I mean,
we leave it to your interpretation.
Yeah, I think the answer to either question is like the fungaroo farm. Like there's like we've decided, since we don't have as many of them left, we just sort of centralized a farm for them, and we sort of tried to mimic what we think might be their natural habitat, but we also are harvesting shit from them. So it's
delicious.
Just give them Taco Bell every day.
Yes, we have a restaurant that serves something. We don't know what it is, but we have to give it to our food source so they produce food.
I'm going to have to draw the fungaroo farm. Let me do that real quick then. I'll get us back to the map page. All right.
I need to run downstairs while you're drawing, so I will be right back.
That's fine. So I'm going to draw that kind of... I think it ought to be near the water, don't you?
I don't think it should be near the forest.
Yeah, true. What's the closest?
Tower got bigger again.
There's a brown. Okay. Right. Why can't I just have the color I want, please?
Can you not type it in the hex section?
Oh, there we go. All right. So this is a fungaroo farm, I guess, with like a silo.
Silo?
Yeah, like a building.
Gotta dry that out. Make fungaroo chips.
How do you draw a farm? Like tractor?
Tractor so we can plant the fungaroos?
I don't know. I mean, you have tractors on farms, right?
Yeah, like for like crops, but the only thing we've discussed farming is the animals, so it's more like a ranch.
Well, they shit on the ground, and then you drive the tractor and pick it up.
Yeah, with like a
It's just a mobile pooper scooper.
yeah, it's a garbage truck.
So it's closer to like a plow truck.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, this is the tractor.
It cannot be called anything other than the tractor.
Absolutely.
Who's editing this episode?
I think I am.
No tractor.
I think that means I'm going to move fungaroo dung into the abundancies.
Well, it's pretty abundant in the silo.
It certainly is. Yeah, we've been collecting it.
I mean,
all right.
Oh my goodness.
The launch pad is down to 3 weeks. The tower to the moon is down to 4. The Convenium submarine is down to 2 weeks. Okay, so I am going to. I'm going to start a project. I'm going to start a project to. This is a preliminary project, so it's going to be pretty short. It's only going to be about 2 weeks long. And it's going to be. We're going to sort of survey the survivors of the winter and sort of find out what worked and what didn't work about living in the caves, with the ultimate goal of planning our colony better for like the real thing, when we go to wherever we're going to go this winter. So we're going to survey the community about successes, failures of the cave dwelling that we had. That's going to take 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The pumpkin was having its way with my mouth too much, so I had to grab something to, like, really tone that down.
That's totally fair. Totally fair. All right. All right. So then next, we're back around to vomit.
Vomit.
All right. Let me draw you a card.
Gotta put these projects away.
Okay. 3 of spring. Oops, I just drew on it.
Oh no! Stop
Sorry.
drawing on the cards.
There we go. I can move it. There we go. Read it out.
3 of spring. Someone new arrives. Who? Or 2 of the community's younger members get into a fight. What provoked them?
That one's easy enough to remember, so I'll just move you back. I love this map.
Okay.
The mountains look pretty good. Anyway.
Albert Epstein and Clint Tabard. Howard Epstein and Clint Tabard got into a fight because Howard is 80% sure that all they need to do to get to the moon is attach a rocket to one of the submarines that are being built. And Clint thinks that Howard is just a dumbass.
Thinks a rocket sub could get to the moon. Fought Clint. What was Clint's last name?
I forgot already.
Clint Tabard?
Tabard, that's it. Clint Tabard.
Oops, Clint Tabard.
And Jeffrey Epstein. Okay.
Clint Tabard.
You know, I'm not good with on-the-spot names.
Thinks is stupid. Okay. Okay, so Clint. Let me get this out of the way here. Get down there. Ah, come on. Clint Tabard and Howard Epstein. I didn't make these guys visible to you guys. Oops. Not
Oh, I was
visible.
watching the weekly log to see your marking there. Clint Tabard
I will do that too.
thinks Howard is stupid.
Howard Epstein thinks, yeah. Okay, this one, that accidentally was there, so I'll delete that. Okay, weekly log, fight. So this is week 4, or week 5.
Week 5. Howard and Clint got into a fight over the submarine to the moon plan.
Fought over submarine to moon.
Submarine rocket.
Submarine, yeah. Howard wants to attach a rocket to the submarine to get to the moon.
Howard is for, Clint is against. Okay. All right, that's now in the... Yeah?
So, now I'm done with the pumpkin. He's done having his way with me. And now I am drinking pumpkin spiced ale from Mad Tree.
Nice. I see the theme.
Yes. 5.5% alcohol by volume.
Ooh. All right.
It's October, gotta be in the moment.
Absolutely. All right. Projects are ticking down. 2 weeks left on building the launch pad. 3 weeks on building a tower to the moon. 1 week on the convenient submarine. 1 week on surveying the community about successes and failures of the cave dwelling. And a world event is happening.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
So I don't get an action? Does my
You
landing
do.
pad? Okay.
You do, but you get an action, but after this resolves.
Okay.
So, a world event is happening, and I am making it visible to you now. Okay. So, this is under the tab World Events. So, an overheated, starving frost shepherd or buff walrus wanders into the settlement and dies. Its carcass lies in the midst of where people live, work on projects, just like right in the middle of town. If it's left alone, it quickly begins to decay and rot, and will be a major sanitation problem during the week. Choices, and I'm going to give this choice to Vomit since it's his turn.
Oh no.
Either start a project to dispose of the carcass. Figure out if you can use its hides, bones, or anything for whatever, or just toss it, you decide. Or start a project to preserve the carcass and study its biology. Which one do you want to do? Just get rid of it, or preserve it and study it?
I'm going to lean preserve and study.
Okay, how long is that going to take?
I'm going to go with 4 weeks if we add in the study. Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's left alone, it quickly begins to decay. So
Yeah,
if children play with it, it doesn't decay. We send all the children out to play with the carcass.
Quick, go play with the death beast.
I don't want to go. It's not my turn.
Touch the buff
No,
walrus.
Abby, get out there and get on top of it. Start jumping up and down.
Awesome.
I'm king of the snowproof.
I just created a character, Little Abby.
Little Abby.
Little Abby.
All right. Little Abby. Hand out.
Little Abby doesn't want to climb the snow beast.
Little Abby. All players want to play on a decaying corpse of a vicious predator.
I mean, we got to study why just touching it constantly like preserves it.
That's a fair point. All right, so now, Vomit, you get to take an action.
Oh, cool. The studying that doesn't count as my action?
Nope, because that was part of the world event.
Cool.
Start a project, hold a discussion,
Taste
or discover something.
Taste it would definitely be under the discover something.
That really would.
Oh. I'm stuck on taste it now. Thanks, Scrodrick.
I'm only creative when it isn't my turn.
Only creative when I need not be.
I mean, that's an idea you could save for your turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Over here in the mountains, we discover.
Okay.
We discover. When digging out Convenium, we just got. It's hard to draw this, so I'll just put a little mine hole, and that'll be it. While mining Convenium, we discover a large cavern, which is a much bigger cave system than we anticipated being in the mountains to begin with.
Okay.
So we have more room to expand than we thought.
All right. So
Unfortunately, less Convenium traces than we had hoped for to find in there.
All right. So I'm going to then move I'm going to leave Convenium on abundancies because I think we still have plenty. It wouldn't be Convenium if we didn't have plenty.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to add to the abundancies, I'm going to add cavern space.
Yeah. Hey, we could put a castle down there, man. Just
Sure.
chandeliers. We have to just like open. Yeah.
Yeah. Splodifer chandeliers.
Splodifer chandeliers.
Drain all the splodifers, drain it into the cave, fill the cave, light it on fire, move the planet closer to the sun.
Or keep this end of the planet warm during the winter.
Be like the Pennsylvania coal mine fires that stay going forever.
Oh, that's awesome.